Hello, my favorite fifth graders. I am so excited for day one of remote learning. Basically, the way this is going to work, every Monday I will post a video as well as a Wakelet or a Google slide kind of going over the activities that you can participate in during the week. I will also be reading to you every day out of our close read book. This week, we are starting chapters 1 through 3 in George's Secret Key to the Universe by Lucy and Stephen Hawking. So when I read, I'm going to read until partway through every chapter. At that point, I'm going to tell you this is a good pausing point, and you can go online to our Google Classroom and click the Pearson link. When you click that link, you'll see the assigned book where you can access this online and read with me, or you can read independently around your house. So that is what we are going to do every day. I'll post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, a new chapter. And Thursday and Friday will be kind of activities that go along with the reading. Other weeks, it might be 5 days of reading. We'll kind of just take it each week at a time. I hope you all know how much I miss you and how much I appreciate how responsive you've all been and responsible and coming and getting all of your remote learning supplies. It just makes me very proud of you to have you all still virtually in my classroom, and I hope that we can make the most of it together. So I'm going to start with chapter 1, page 1. Here you see the front cover. All right, I'm going to start. Pigs don't just vanish, thought George, as he stood staring into the depths of the very obviously empty pigsty. He tried closing his eyes and then opening them again to see if it was all some kind of horrible optical illusion. But when he looked again, the pig was still gone, his vast, muddy pink bulk nowhere to be seen. In fact, when George examined the situation for a second time, it had gotten worse, not better. The side door of the pigsty, he noticed, was hanging open, which meant someone hadn't shut it properly, and that someone was probably him. Georgie, he heard his mother call from the kitchen. I'm going to start supper in a minute, so you've only got about an hour. Have you done your homework? Yes, Mom, he called back in a fake cheery voice. How's your pig? He's fine, said George sleepily. He threw in a few experimental oinks just to make sure it sounded as though everything was business as usual. Here in the small backyard that was full of many, many vegetables, and one enormous but now mysteriously absent pig. He grunted a few more times for effect. It was very important his mother did not come out of the garden before George had time to think of a plan. How he was going to find the pig, put it back in the sty, close the door, and get back in time for supper, he had no idea. But he was working on it, and the last thing he needed was for one of his parents to appear before he had all the answers. George knew the pig was not exactly popular with his parents. His mother and father had never wanted a pig in the backyard, and his dad, in particular, tended to grind his teeth quite hard when he remembered he lived beyond the vegetable patch. The pig had been a present. One cold Christmas Eve, a few years back, a cardboard box full of squeaks and snuffles had been delivered to their front door. When George opened it up, he found a very indignant pink piglet inside. George lifted him carefully out of the box and watched with delight as his new friend skidded around the Christmas tree in his tiny hooflets. There had been a note taped to the box. Dear all, it read, Merry Christmas. This little fellow needs a home. Can you give him one? Love, Grandma. XXX. George's dad hadn't been delighted by the new addition to his family. Just because he was a vegetarian, it didn't mean he liked animals. Actually, he preferred plants. They were much easier to deal with. They didn't make a mess or leave muddy hoofprints on the kitchen floor, or break in and eat all the cookies left out on the table. But George was thrilled to have his very own pig. The presents he'd received from his mom and dad that year were, as usual, pretty awful. The home-knitted purple and orange striped sweater that his mom had given him had sleeves that stretched right down to the floor. He had never wanted a xylophone, and he had a hard time looking enthusiastic when he unwrapped it a build-your-own ant farm. What George really wanted, above all things in the universe, was a computer. But he knew his parents were very unlikely to buy him one. They didn't like modern inventions and tried to do without as many standard household items as they could. Wanting to live a purer, simpler life, they washed all their clothes by hand and didn't own a car, and lit the house with candles in order to avoid using any electricity. It was all designed to give George a natural and improving upbringing. free from toxins, additives, radiation, and other such evil phenomena. The only problem was that getting rid of everything that could possibly harm George, his parents had also managed to do away with lots of things that could have been fun for him. George's parents might enjoy going on environmental protest marches or grinding flour to make their own bread, but George didn't. He wanted to go to a theme park and ride the roller coasters or play computer games or take an airplane somewhere far, far away. Instead, for now, all he had was his pig, and a very fine pig he was, too. George had named him Freddie and spent many happy hours dangling over the edge of the pigsty his father had built in the backyard, watching Freddie root around in the straw or snuffle in the dirt. As the seasons changed and the years turned, George's piglet got bigger and bigger and bigger, until it was so large that in a dim lighting he looked like a baby elephant. The bigger Freddie grew, the more he seemed to feel cooped up in his pigsty. Whenever he got the chance, he liked to escape and rampage across the vegetable patch, trampling on the carrot tops, munching the baby cabbages, and chewing up George's mom's flowers. Even though she often told George how important it was to love all living creatures, George suspected that on days when Freddie had wrecked her garden, she didn't feel much love for his pig. Like George's dad, his mom was a vegetarian, but George was sure he had heard her anger mutterly. Let me try that again. But George was sure he had heard her angrily mutter, "Sausages," under her breath when she was cleaning up after one of Freddie's more destructive outings. So that is page 1 through 5 of George's Secret Key to the Universe. I am going to stop this recording and read pages 6 through 14, which is the rest of chapter 1. But if this is where you would like to pause, now would be a good time. I look forward to finishing the chapter with you. Bye.